This is a story about a girl named Elara. Elara lived in a busy city. The city was always loud. There were cars and buses and people shouting. But Elara heard something different. She heard the sound of forgotten things. It started when she was a little girl. She found an old key on the sidewalk. It was rusty and alone. As she picked it up, she heard a tiny whisper. The whisper said, "I open nothing now." Elara looked around, but nobody was there. She looked at the key in her hand. "Was that you?" she asked. The key did not answer again, but Elara understood. She could hear the voices of lost things. As she grew older, her talent grew stronger. She could not only hear them, she could feel them. A single glove on the street sang a sad song. It missed its other hand. A torn photograph in the gutter cried softly. It remembered a smiling face. Elara's heart was full of these small, sad sounds. One day, she was walking through an old market. There were tables of used items everywhere. Old clocks, broken toys, dusty books. The sound was overwhelming. It was a chorus of whispers. "I was a gift," whispered a silver locket. "I made children laugh," creaked a wooden puppet. "I told the time for 100 years," ticked a clock very weakly. Elara walked slowly, listening to them all. Then she saw a small, plain box. It was made of dark wood with no special design, but it was completely silent. In a place full of whispers, this box made no sound. Elara picked it up. It was cold. "Why are you so quiet?" she whispered to it. Suddenly, she felt a powerful wave of sadness. It was not a sound, but a feeling. It was the saddest thing she had ever felt. Elara bought the box. She took it home and placed it on her table. For days she just looked at it. It remained silent. She tried to talk to it. "What are you?" she asked. "What is your story?" The box did not respond, but Elara did not give up. Every evening she would sit with the box. One night there was a terrible storm. Thunder roared and rain fell heavily. Elara was sitting in her room with the box. A flash of lightning lit up the sky. At that exact moment the box spoke. It did not whisper. It did not sing. It screamed. It was a terrible, silent scream that only Elara could hear. Elara was frightened, but she stayed calm. "Tell me," she said gently. "I am listening." The box's voice became softer, and it began to tell its story. "I was not always a box," it said. "I was a music box, a beautiful one. I played a sweet song for a little girl. She loved me. She wound me up every night. But one day, she grew up and forgot about me. I was placed in a dark cupboard. Years passed. My music stopped working. The girl became an old woman. She passed away. Her family sold all her things. They sold me. I was thrown into a box of other forgotten things. I lost my voice completely. I became silent." Elara's eyes were full of tears. She understood now. The box was not just sad. It was broken-hearted. "I cannot fix your music," Elara said, "but I will not forget you." She placed the box on the highest shelf, place of honor. From that day, Elara started a new habit. She would walk through the city and collect forgotten things, not to keep them forever, but to listen to them. She found a lonely button from a soldier's coat. It remembered the war. She found a child's shoe, lost in the park. It remembered the laughter of a sunny day. Each thing had a story to tell, and Elara was the only one who would listen. Her apartment became a museum of whispers. Shelves were filled with old keys, broken jewelry, and faded letters. They all hummed quietly, happy to be remembered. People thought Elara was strange. They did not understand her collection. But Elara did not mind. She had many friends. They were just very old and quiet. One winter evening, a young man knocked on her door. He looked cold and a little lost. "Excuse me," he said. "My grandmother used to live here. I am looking for something that belonged to her." Elara invited him inside. He looked at all the objects on her shelves. "What is all this?" he asked. "These are forgotten things," Elara explained. "They tell me their stories." The young man smiled politely, but he did not believe her. "My grandmother had a small music box," he said. "It played a lullaby. I want to find it." Elara's heart beat faster. She walked to the highest shelf. She took down the plain, dark wooden box. "Is this it?" she asked gently. The young man's eyes widened. "Yes," he whispered. "That is it. That is her box." Elara handed him the box. As he touched it, she heard the box make a sound. It was a soft, happy hum. It recognized the young man's touch. It remembered the family. "It is happy," Elara said, smiling. The young man looked confused. "What do you mean?" "It knows you," Elara said. "It has been waiting for you." The young man took the box home. A few weeks later, Elara received a letter. It was from him. He wrote, "I took the box to a music repair shop. The man inside opened it carefully. He fixed it. For the first time in 60 years, it played. It played my grandmother's lullaby. Thank you for keeping it safe." Elara held the letter and smiled. The box was not forgotten anymore. It was home. Years went by. Elara became an old woman herself. Her apartment was still full of forgotten things. But now people from the city came to visit her. They brought their own old, forgotten objects. "Can you hear its story?" they would ask. And Elara would listen. She would close her eyes and tell them what she heard. She was the listener of forgotten things. One day, a little girl came to her door. She held a small, rusty key in her hand. "I found this," the girl said. "It feels sad." Elara looked at the girl and then at the key. She remembered. It was her first forgotten thing. The key from the sidewalk so many years ago. It had come back to her. Elara took the key gently. She closed her eyes and listened. "It says," Elara whispered. "I open nothing now, but," she continued, opening her eyes, "it is happy you found it." The little girl smiled. She understood. So, if you ever find a lonely key on the ground, or a single glove in the street, stop for a moment. Listen carefully. You might hear a tiny whisper. It might be telling you its story, and every story deserves to be heard. Thank you for listening to the story of Elara. Sleep well, and may you always hear the whispers of the world around you. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.